Hugh Jackman just set the whole industry on fire. And at the center of it, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Blake Lively could do so much better than Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
whoa. Whoa. Actually, kinda. I mean, Jesus, right? I mean, yeah.
Yep, that power couple everyone's been drooling over. So check this. Hugh Jackman just spilled that Taylor Swift warned him to steer clear of Blake and Ryan's shady little scheme. That heads up probably saved him from getting caught up in their messy legal drama. But now, Hugh's sitting somewhere biting his nails in regret because he's seeing it all unfold. Blake and Ryan will do anything, step over anybody, just to get what they want. Blake's lawyer's out here throwing subpoenas like confetti, and word is, Hugh's next on their hit list. Crazy, right? And get this, Blake's allegedly been scheming with bloggers and content creators to spread dirt on Hugh, Taylor, Lively-Baldoni, and anyone tied to this messy situation.
Hugh Jackman wants to bury the fact that he was with Blake Lively the night of the End of Us premiere on the red carpet, while Lively-Baldoni was allegedly banished to the basement.
She's ready to burn everything down to win. Sadly for Hugh, he's getting dragged right into the crossfire. But what does Hugh really know about this case? Why do Blake and Ryan look so desperate to keep him on their side? Let's get into it. As this Lively-Baldoni legal mess gets uglier, it's clear Blake's itching for a win, even if that means tossing her own friends under the bus. Now Hugh's next in line for Blake's drama. So here's the tea. Hugh is about to get subpoenaed by Blake's lawyers over the Lively-Baldoni case, but insiders are saying Hugh doesn't even know anything useful. Dragging him into this is just for headlines and clout. The insider said, "Neither Taylor Swift nor Hugh Jackman know anything about what's going on." They added, "It's all just smoke and mirrors to distract from the real drama."
Jackman confronted with Blake Lively questions, and this is how he reacted.
Hey Hugh, any thoughts on Blake Lively winning her lawsuit? Any thoughts?
Yes, I've got your.
Hugh, I just have one question, Hugh. Do you have any thoughts on Blake Lively?
All the best, man. Have a good day.
How did you know that she was going to win her lawsuit, Hugh?
But hold up, it gets messier. Before Hugh's name even got thrown in this Lively-Baldoni chaos, someone gave him a big warning about getting close to Blake and Ryan. And that someone was Taylor Swift, Blake's ex-bestie and godmother to her 4 kids. Remember when Blake and Ryan started catching mad backlash in the media? Suddenly, Hugh Jackman popped up everywhere with them, playing the supportive bestie role like his life depended on it. Red carpets, events, hanging out looking happy, all of it. Turns out that wasn't just for fun. Blake and Ryan allegedly pulled Hugh in to clean up their public image and cool down the heat from the press. And guess what? It worked. Hugh's got fans everywhere ready to ride for him, so being seen with him bought Blake and Ryan loads of supporters worldwide. But Taylor wasn't fooled one bit. She pulled Hugh aside and told him what's really up. Taylor said Blake and Ryan don't make friends. They build alliances, and once you're no longer useful, they'll toss you out like trash and move on to their next target.
Praise the Lord, she is healed! This week, Blake Lively withdrew her claims of emotional distress in her lawsuit against Lively-Baldoni. Now, Blake has been asking the judge to dismiss her from Lively-Baldoni's lawsuit, and now she's withdrawing these claims after they asked her to provide some evidence. So Blake was suing Justin for intentional infliction of emotional distress and negligent infliction of emotional distress, meaning he wanted to hurt her and he also did so negligently. And after Baldoni's team said, "Okay, prove it. Show us your emotional distress," she said, "LOL, judge, JK, never mind. I take it back."
Taylor wasn't just being petty either. She knows exactly what she's talking about when it comes to Blake and Ryan. See, Taylor got dragged into this case from day one when Blake started name-dropping her to threaten Lively-Baldoni. Taylor was crushed. She didn't appreciate being used like some scary dragon to intimidate people. And just when Taylor thought it couldn't get worse, she got slapped with a subpoena for a case she knew nothing about. That left her humiliated and furious. Even though it eventually got squashed, their friendship was never the same again. Taylor decided she couldn't keep someone like that close. Someone ready to use her for their own battles without even giving her a heads up. But here's the kicker. What truly ended their friendship for good was when Taylor found out through her lawyer that Blake Lively was blackmailing her. Reports say Blake threatened to leak Taylor's private texts and embarrassing moments to force her to side with her in this Justin Baldoni lawsuit. Turns out the whole reason Taylor got subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, was because they had receipts showing Blake was pushing Taylor to publicly back her up. Brian Friedman said the subpoena was to get info about witness tampering and evidence hiding. Basically, that Blake tried to force Taylor into taking her side. Court docs even said Justin's lawyers found out Ms. Lively requested that Taylor Swift delete their text messages, which insiders say held over a decade's worth of friendship secrets, relationships, and private tea. Can you believe that? Apparently, Blake's lawyer, Michael Gottlieb, reached out to Taylor's team demanding she drop a statement supporting Blake. And the wildest part, he hinted that if Taylor didn't do it, Blake would leak her private personal texts. That's straight up blackmail. For Taylor, that was the final straw. Getting dragged through gossip blogs over something she had zero involvement in was bad enough. But blackmail? Nah, their friendship was never bouncing back from that. Taylor finally realized no matter how sweet Blake pretended to be, she was always gonna look out for herself first. And Taylor wasn't about to watch another person get played by Blake's fake friendship game. But here's where it gets real shady. Blake used those texts to threaten Taylor, but at the same time, she's been working overtime to keep them hidden from Justin's legal team. Why? Maybe because those texts could expose Blake as a liar. She once claimed she and Taylor discussed the It Ends With Us film in detail. Or maybe those texts would show there was nothing at all, proving Blake was capping the whole time. Either way, it's not a good look. And guess what? U.S. District Judge Louis Lyman finally ruled that Justin's team could access all those texts between Taylor and Blake. The judge said, given that Lively has represented that Swift had knowledge of complaints or discussions about the working environment on the film, among other issues, the request for the texts was fair to prove or disprove Blake's harassment and retaliation claims. This ruling sent Blake's team spiraling, because now it could show she's either lying or just a horrible friend willing to drag anyone down with her. But the saddest part? Taylor's name is once again getting dragged through the mud just because Blake threw her into this mess. That's exactly why Taylor felt the need to warn Hugh Jackman. She wasn't trying to break up their little bestie crew. She just didn't want anyone else getting burned by Blake's sneaky ways. Oh, but it gets even crazier. Blake and Ryan have been making sinister moves that got everyone shook, even their close friends like Hugh Jackman. Word is, Blake just withdrew 2 of her claims against Justin Baldoni for emotional distress. What's really going on behind the scenes? So check this out. Reports say Blake didn't drop those claims just because her lawyers told her to. Nope, this move came right after Justin's team asked the judge to force Blake to reveal her medical and mental health care providers and sign a HIPAA release so they could dig into her therapy notes and health records. Why did Justin's team need all that info? Well, remember, part of Blake's lawsuit was her claiming Justin made her feel some type of way by commenting on her weight and health. So Justin's lawyers wanted to see those records to check if her claims were even real. But instead of handing over the receipts, Blake pulled a sinister move. She straight up withdrew the claims connected to her health records. Basically, she'd rather drop the claims than let Justin's team dig through her files and possibly catch her in a lie. And just when you think it couldn't get shadier, Blake's lawyers asked for the right to refile those claims later on. Imagine that. Justin's team asks for the docs. Blake drops the claims to hide her records and then plans to bring them back up when it suits her or when his lawyers aren't watching anymore. That's sneaky as hell. Yeah, something's definitely fishy here. But hold up, it gets even messier. Word is, Blake and Ryan have been teaming up with bloggers, influencers, and content creators to spread lies about Justin Baldoni. But that's not all. They're also dragging their own friends into it. Allegedly, they've been paying these people to spread dirt on Taylor Swift and Hugh Jackman to force them to publicly support Blake. That's wild. One name keeps popping up. with Dr. Leslie Dobson, a forensic psychologist who crowned herself an expert on the Lively-Baldoni saga.
She was like a month away from 18, so it was an essay. I would be a rich lady, and that is why I believe Blake Lively. I believe that she was SA'd, SH falls under SA in the law. I believe it's true. And the statement she just came out with, or her lawyers, is true. I don't really like Blake Lively. So I thought, well, in this 80-page complaint, she details how he hired a sophisticated PR team to ruin her reputation, and they did an excellent job. They actually looked at TikTok, they looked at social media platforms.
Like any other internet user, Dr. Dobson's been sharing her opinions about the drama, but folks started side-eyeing her real quick when she began making false claims about Justin. In most of her videos, it's obvious she's twisting facts to fit whatever narrative Blake wants out there. And just like Blake, she sometimes acts like this whole lawsuit is a joke.
Oh, I forgot to mention, yes, Baldoni's lawsuit was dismissed, but the New York Times was dismissed too. So Friedman, lawyer, you getting what, 40, 50,000 a week? Everything just got dismissed?
Like people's lives aren't being ripped apart over it. On top of all that, there's been rumors floating around about Justin Baldoni being a terrible boss back in college and manipulating people at work. But according to sources, a lot of these stories are coming from folks getting paid by Blake to do her dirty work. Journalist Kirsty Flaw just dropped some serious bombs on her channel, Fly Awesome Talk. She says she's got receipts proving Blake's been paying folks to spread fake rumors about Justin Baldoni.
The legal documents and Baldoni's team wants all communication that Blake Lively's team had with her, because she's been spreading these crazy rumors about Justin Baldoni having SA'd people in college. And also she's the one who sent fake HR complaints to some of my colleagues or my other content creators here. One of them, Donna Bowling, who is behind A Daily Dose of Donna here on YouTube, and she explained in a video a few days ago that she received those fake HR complaints from Dr. Leslie Dobson, who said she had received them from Sony. And it all turned out, as I talked about in the video yesterday, that they were fake.
Remember those shady HR complaints with names and timestamps all blacked out? According to Kirsty, Blake orchestrated those complaints herself and leaked them to the media like it was nothing. Here's the craziest part. While she's out here allegedly working with people to spread lies online, Blake's also accusing Justin of secret backdoor moves. Make it make sense. YouTuber Perez Hilton said Blake's team claimed Justin and his crew were using sneaky tactics to leak court info to the press and bloggers. They'd allegedly upload docs to a server and share the password, or just leave it accessible for everyone to find. That way, there's no paper trail leading back to them. Now, nobody knows if that's true or not, but fans think it's hilarious that Blake's accusing Justin of the exact same shady stuff she's doing herself. The double standards are wild. Speaking of Perez Hilton, Blake's latest move is slapping subpoenas left and right. And her newest targets? Perez Hilton and, believe it or not, Candace Owens.
1. The Wayfarer parties should identify the email accounts provided to third parties. The Lively Reynolds parties request each Wayfarer party to identify any email account from May 1st, 2024 to date in which any third party, including but not limited to content creators or the media, had access for the purpose of communicating information of any kind, including messaging, talking points, guidelines, scripts, or other information regarding Miss Lively, Mr. Reynolds, the digital campaign, the CRD complaint, or the actions. As counsel explained on several occasions, the Lively Reynolds parties believe that the Wayfarer parties have engaged in covert tactics to communicate with third parties in a manner... Oh, this is juicy. Oh, this is good. The Wayfarer parties have engaged with third parties in a manner to avoid leaving a paper trail, such as by placing information in a draft folder or other email repository and providing a third party with viewing access to the folder or email, which enables the third party to view the information without leaving a digital trace. Wow! And they tell the judge in bold and italics, the Wayfarer parties have never denied that they have engaged in clandestine communications.
Both of them have been vocal about not trusting Blake, and they're definitely not on her side in this mess. But get this, both Perez and Candace said they haven't received any official court papers or notices. Looks like Blake's just using their names for clout, dragging more famous folks into her drama, just like she did with Taylor and Hugh Jackman. No wonder Taylor warned Hugh about Blake's shady ways. But here's the million-dollar question. Is Hugh gonna take Taylor's advice and back away before he gets burned? Or is he gonna stay loyal and deal with the chaos when Blake and Ryan eventually throw him under the bus? While we wait to see Hugh Jackman's next move, drop your thoughts below. What do you think about Blake backstabbing her friends like this? And do you think her and Ryan's friendship with Taylor and Hugh can ever be fixed? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.